It basically tells the story of my frustration with rubrics, how they didn't really help me to describe or evaluate or assess the student writing that I was getting, and it certainly didn't help me respond to that writing or to those writers in helpful ways. And so it's basically the story of my own investigation into the history of rubrics and why they didn't seem to work for me, and, you know, alternatives.
Can you tell me a little bit about the history of rubrics, where they evolved? And
sure. Well,
was it the ancient Greeks or the...
It may have been the ancient Greeks, but I really trace the history back to Diederik at ETS and the study he did in the 1960s, where he took this divergent group of readers and he had them read essays and they had to make comments, and he was really disturbed by the variety of comments and the variety of scores that he got. And so he tried to find a way for teachers to read an essay and all agree on what it should be scored, and came up with the categories, the qualities of writing that have turned into the rubrics that we commonly use now. So they were really a way to help universities keep people out. Universities had to find a way, because they had the sudden influx of students, and they needed a way to sort them and make sure the good ones were getting in and the bad ones were staying out. So, you know, as public school teachers, our job is to help everyone, not to really, you know, weed out. So I don't think they work for our
rubrics. Do they produce a sort of a uniformity in the instruction? Is that what?
I think so. I think they produce uniformity in instruction and in the writing, and also in the teacher's reading. So you're really shutting down the teacher's own responses so that they all see it the same way. And when we all start to see something the same way, then we lose the kind of texture, the kind of insight that makes our job interesting as writing teachers, to read all of these interesting thoughts and to look at how they've done it all differently. When we use the rubrics, we just really, it's a template that you put over the piece of student writing and you look at how it compares to these categories.
It's interesting, so when I interviewed the test scores, I asked them about this, the interesting piece of writing, and I said, well, what's it like to score an interesting piece of writing? And the first response was, well, it takes a lot longer.
Yes, absolutely. An interesting piece of writing throws a rubric into chaos, because suddenly it doesn't seem to work so well. And it, you know, it's based on a formula. If we look at this category and add it up with that category, it predicts good writing. And I think that writing is much more messy and complex. It's more like a complex system where its multitude of factors react in unpredictable ways, and you can't predict it. So why would we try with a rubric? Instead of just respond, this is what I feel, this is what I think, this is what I see in your piece of writing, and try and respond that way.